Dear students of class 12th, we are reading a lesson from the text Flamingo. The lesson is titled as Deep Water. In today's class, we will be discussing from para 3, page 28. Now let us start. Next, he held me at the side of the pool and had me kick with my legs. For weeks I did just that. At first my legs refused to work, but they gradually relaxed. And finally I could command them. Here is one word, that is command. Command means order. Here writer says that in the third phase of the learning process, the instructor taught William to kick the water's surface with his legs. He did this for many weeks. Initially, his legs did not move, but gradually they relaxed, and finally, William could order them to kick in the desired way. Now, next para. Thus, piece by piece, he built a swimmer. And when he had perfected each piece, he put them together into an integrated whole. In April, he said, "Now you can swim, drive off. You can swim, dive off, and swim the length of the pool, crawl, stroke." Here is one word, that is stroke. Stroke means a particular style. Particular style of moving the arms and legs in swimming. Stroke means a particular style of moving the arms and legs in swimming. Here it says, finally, the instructor made a swimmer out of William in phases. When William had perfected each phase, he compiled them. In the month of April, the instructor told William that now he could swim. He asked him to dive into the pool and swim the length of the pool in a particular style called the crawl stroke. I did, this is text. I did, the instructor was finished. William. Here it says that William swam and the classes came to an end. Here the right says that William swam and the classes came to an end. Now next para. But I was not finished. I still wondered if I would be terror stricken when I was alone in the pool. I tried it swam. I swam the length up and down. Tiny vestiges of the old terror would return. But now I could frown and say to the terror, trying to scare me, well, here is to you, look. And off I would go for another length of the pool. Now here is a word, that is one word, that is vestiges. Vestiges means traces. Here it says that William had not overcome the fear yet and wondered if the terror would grab him. William had not overcome the fear yet and wondered if the terror would grab him when he would be alone in the water. He tried to swim alone in the pool. The terror returned in small phases, but now, as he knew how to swim, he faced the terror with confidence. He swam another length of the pool. Let me repeat it again. Here is one word in the above para, that is vestiges. Vestiges means traces. Here it says that William had not overcome the fear yet and wondered if the terror would grab him when he would be alone in the water. He tried to swim alone in the pool. The terror returned in small phases, but now, as he knew how to swim, he faced the terror with confidence. He swam another length of the pool. Now next para. This went on until July. This went on until July, but I was still not satisfied. This went on until July, but I was still not satisfied. I was not sure that all the terror had left, so I went to Lake Wentworth in New. So I went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. I was not sure, but all the terror had left, so I went to Lake Wentworth in New Hemp's, Hampshire. Divide off a dock at Triggs Island and swam 2 miles across the lake to Swamp Act Island. I swam the crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. Only once did the terror return. When I was in the middle of the lake, I put my face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. The old sensation returned in miniature. I laughed and said, "Well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do? You can do to me?" It filled, and I swam on. Here is one word in the above para. In this para, that is miniature. Miniature means small size. Here it says in these lines that William swam like this till the month of July. William swam like this till the month of July, but was not satisfied. He wanted to be sure that all of the fear had left him. William swam like this till the month of July, but was not satisfied. He wanted to be sure that all of the fear had left him, so he went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire, divide into it from Triggs Island, and swam for 2 miles. Up to Stamp Act Island, he swam in different styles: crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. Let me explain again this. That says that William swam like this till the month of July, but was not satisfied. He was not satisfied. He wanted to be sure that all of the fear had left him, so he went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire, divide into it from Triggs Island, and swam for 2 miles up to Stamp Act Island. He swam in different styles: crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. The terror returned only once, when he was in the middle of the lake. When he put his head under water, he saw water all around, and the fear returned. This time William laughed at the terror and said to it that it could not harm him. He saw that the terror vanished, and he resumed swimming. Now next para. Yet I had residual doubts. At my first opportunity, I hurried west, went up the Teton to Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creek Trail to Midi Glacier, and camped in the high meadow by the side of Warm Lake. The next morning I stripped, divided into the lake, and swam across to the other shore and back. Just as Duh Corpon used to do, I shouted with joy, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. I had conquered my fear of water. Now here it says that William still had some doubt about the fear. It says that William still had some doubt about the fear, so he hurried towards the western direction. He went up the Teton, reached Conrad Meadows, walked up the Conrad Creek Trail to Midi Glacier. He camped at the meadow by the warm lake. The next morning he wore the swimming costume and divided into the lake. The next morning he wore the swimming costume and dived into the lake. He swam across it to the other end and returned just like the famous American Doe Corporon used to do. William shouted with joy as he had overcome his fear. His voice resounded as the mountain peak named Gilbert Peak uh, reverberated it. He had overcome the fear. Now, the last para. This experience had a deep meaning for me, as only those who have known stark terror and conquered it can appreciate. In death, there is peace, there is terror only in the fear of death. Uh, as Roosevelt knew when he said, "All we have to fear is fear itself," because I had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. The will to live somehow grew in intensity. At last, I felt released, free to walk the trails and climb the peaks and to brush aside fear. Here it says that the experience, there is one word that at last I feel released. At last I felt released. This phrase, at last I felt released, this means free to walk the trails and climb the peaks and to brush aside fear. At last I felt released means free to walk the trails and climb the peaks and to brush aside fear. Right says that the experience had a great importance in William's life. He realized that death was peaceful and only the fear of death was fearful. He recollects the words of one of the presidents of America, Roosevelt. Roosevelt had said that all we have to fear is fear itself. Right? Roosevelt had said that all we have to fear is fear itself. As William had experienced death and the fear of death, his desire to live grew immensely. He felt released from fear and was free to walk up the trails and climb up the mountains fearlessly. Thank you very much.